According to these details, we're expected to see a 2020 opening, so that confirms it, 2020. The footprint is 200 metres by 400 metres, so again, quite a large footprint, but it should take up that plot of land nicely. The waiver is up to 25 metres high, but this is of course 34 metres high, so again, could be a difference. And this is the big one, the track and support colours, which could give us some clues as to the name and the theme. It will be silver track and black supports. So what if you're thinking along the lines of animal theme, then maybe something like a panther or a jaguar, the black jaguar, that kind of thing. But I think the silver and black, the silver track and the black supports are linking more towards that pirate theme. So I do think that that is the case with what we're going here. I think this is going to be a pirate theme, and I can't wait to see what Flamingoland's going to do with this. As you saw on your screen, the planning images look amazing, don't they? They look absolutely incredible. I think this is going to be a massive, massive project for the UK. Of course, you've got Tornado Springs down in Paultons Park. I'm sure Thorpe Park's got something in store for the Angry Birds 4D building after the news updates we've been covering a few weeks back on that. Alton Towers, of course, celebrating 40 years of operation. I'm sure Chessington's got something up their sleeve, and now Flamingoland's got something. They've got this 10 inverting coaster, but I think unless Thorpe Park and Alton Towers pull a nice attraction out of the bag, same with Chessington and Blackpool Pleasure Beach, people like that, I do think that the two main focus parks this year are Paultons Park and Flamingoland. Flamingoland for their 10 inversion coaster, and Paultons Park for Tornado Springs. I think they're the two big 2020 developments here in the UK. Obviously there's big updates around the rest of the world, but you know, for us in the UK, we're focusing on the 10 inversion coaster at Flamingoland and Tornado Springs at Paultons Park. I'm going to put those planning images on your screen again right now. There we go, Fan David Orders. So that's the first planning image. So as you can see from that planning image, that one's a very long image, not the actual, you can see the little Coaster Chall logo in the background there. But if you sort of want to cast your eyes to this long planning image, this very thin planning image, you can see like a side view of the layout. So you can see it going up the lift hill. It's quite a long station. So it's going up the lift hill. It's got like a nice, it's not like I don't think it's like the Colossus type drop where it does like a little dip while it turns around and then turns around to the drop. I think this one's just a nice curved drop. And it goes into that first loop, and of course the rest of the layout, and of course it does the nice airtime hills with the cobra roll, and of course the corkscrews, and of course you can see just behind that lift hill structure the back-to-back barrel rolls. So that's a nice touch there to the attraction. Of course, this is looking to be well, from what we knew from previous details from the previous video, it's the same track length as Altair, Lightspeed. There's another two's name that I can't pronounce for anything. So if you look at the second planning image on your screen now, Fandabidosi, this is a look down overview of the area, so you can see in red easily the layout, and of course the blue box overseeing part of the red track on the plans is the station for the ride. Now it's quite a thin station, and the queue line's got quite a thin path, as you can see there. I think the blue line underneath the cobra roll means possible queue line, so it looks like you could be going underneath the cobra roll, which is pretty cool if you can. You can see it's quite a decent, like I said before, it's a decent layout, and I think it's going to be a very, very awesome ride. So there we go then. So let's talk theming items, because now we know the opening day, we know the layout, we know the plans, we know the track colour, the support colour. The only thing we don't know now is the only main thing we don't know is the name and the theme they're going for. And like I said in previous videos, animal theme or pirate themes, my two main predictions for this roller coaster. And I do think that from the track colours, like I said earlier in the video, with the silver track and the black supports, I do think that a pirate theme is absolutely destined for this brand new roller coaster next year. I think we're gonna, hopefully, fingers crossed, go for some kind of backstory. There's no mention on the plans of any theming items or any sort of objects, themed objects around the ride, Whether they're going to sort of add that in at the last minute as part of like an extra planning document, I don't know. But from the looks of it, it doesn't look like there's any theming items, so it looks like it could just be the name is the theme, basically. Basically, the theme relates to the name, and there's no like theming items to sort of support the name of the coaster. I'm not going to break any predictions on any names because I really don't know at this point. I do think, though, that I think it's going to be more along the pirate theme, in my opinion, especially with the Pirates of Zanzibar show right near to where this coaster's going. However, there was a name that was being thrown around for the possible name of the coaster. Now, take this the right way. I don't think it is going to be the name. I think it was just the name in the plans, just like a code name kind of thing. I think it's just like a code name because that's what it was dubbed in the plans. And to be fair, this came up in the article on Ride Race, the most recent article about it, Flamingo's new coaster dubbed Inversion. Now, again, that links to 10 inverting coaster, or 10 looping coaster, so the name probably and pretty much won't be Inversion. It would be an interesting name to go for, kind of a bland name in my opinion, so I'd hate if it was to be called Inversion. However, what that sort of led me to think, what could be the name for Flamingoland's new coaster and that's set to open in 2020. So I sort of looked at all the possibilities, all the options, so I'm going to keep Inversion in the fray because of course it was dubbed that in the plan, so immediately it's going to be right up there in the fray, even though it could be relating to the type of coaster that they're going for. I'd like to keep that name open, so please don't slate me in the comments for saying the wrong thing, but I think I'm going to keep Inversion sort of in the fray for possible names just because it was dubbed that in the plans. But I don't think it's going to be that, so I pray that it's not going to be Inversion. If it is, though, I won't kind of mind that much because it's an okay name, Inversion. It's alright, but you know, you need a better name than Inversion, but it could do a loads better than Inversion. But if it's Inversion, I won't complain as much as if it was something, you know, ridiculous. Gwazi with a 2. So let's have a look then at potential themes and names. So in previous videos, I said the two main themes to go for is a pirate theme or an animal theme. Now there are many names you could suggest, you know, relating to pirates and animals. You could name the ride after an animal, and of course, you know, Flamingoland's marketing department, they do really well with logos and names. You look at Pterodactyl, you look at the logo for Pterodactyl, that was mad, absolutely mad. So you sort of have to look and you think, well, if they're going to go for the pirate theme, they're going to go for something like, you know, Smuggler's Run. Don't get confused with Disney and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But that's quite a pirate name, you know, Smuggler's Run. This sort of leads me on to marketing. What could they do? I've sort of put forward a couple, like 2 or 3 of my own logo designs. So I'm going to put them on screen now. Find a bit Aussie. So hopefully you love those logo designs. I just tried to make them different in some way, and try and make them different from each other in a different way. For marketing purposes, I do start to predict whether they're going to go for a mod, if it is called Inversion, going on the basis of if it's called Inversion, they're going to go for a more modern style, kind of like what they do with Hero. I think the Metropolis themed area that Hero was sat in, sort of the theme's sort of gone away for a while. So I think that the sort of Inversion name can be used in many different ways, like a different modern style. And I think that could be what they're going for here with this. There's minimal theming, so I'm guessing, unless they've got a nicely themed station, which it kind of is and isn't in the planned application. But like I said, we can only hope for the best with this one, can't we? I definitely think that the theme of this is going to be quite, there's no real theme of it, but the name is going to sort of give like a modern reflection on the marketing and the style of brand they're going with the coaster. Like I said, kind of like with Hero, what they did there, they just did like the nice sort of writing with Pterodactyl. They did like vines and stuff around the logo, and you know, with the pterodactyl eye and stuff like that in the name, in the logo. So the marketing team for England had done some fantastic stuff recently, so in recent years. So I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to come up with what looks to be called Inversion. But we now know that the 10 looping coasters pilot application has been approved. It is set for 2020, and Flamingo Land is getting their first coaster since Hero. I don't know about you guys, but like, I think it's kind of like Pandemonium at Hershey Park and Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg that we did announcement videos for this past week. If you think about it, those sort of names, you know, they don't feel right at first, but they sort of, you get used to it pretty quickly. So Pandemonium, got used to it pretty quickly. Pantheon, liked it, you know, and I got used to it pretty quickly as well. Inversion, I think I'm going to get used to it pretty quickly. Now, some people may disagree with the name entirely, that's their opinion, but personally I think it'll be alright at first, and then it'll get better as you sort of get used to it. And like I said in the past videos, knowing Flamingo Land's marketing team, they're going to do a stupendous job with marketing, advertising and promoting the ride through the logo, the branding, the merchandise. So make sure, just as a reminder, make sure you still get your logo entries in for the Inversion logo contest. That will end at the end of this month, so a few weeks time, 2-3 weeks time. So make sure you get your logos in, ready for the end of August. But yeah, really excited about this. So for those of you who don't know what this model is, basically it's like Colossus but more of a modern take. So instead of sort of dipping down and then sort of doing like a little bit of straight track and then going into the drop, this one just curves straight into the drop with a little bit more straight track before the first loop. And this one has lap bars. This one has lap bar trains. Now we believe the trains are going to be the same ones from the Malaysia park that were at Hopi Hari in Brazil. So not just the track and the supports being shifted, but it seems like this is going to also be the trains being shipped as well. So it looks like it's going to be the full ride being shipped to Flamingo Land. Now, in terms of what's happening on the construction site at the minute, there is like a digger / driller truck on site at the minute. So it looks like they're going to be digging up footers ready for the new ride to be constructed. Now we believe the ride, track and supports and the trains, well, the trains are going to come at a later date, but we believe the supports and the track are going to be coming in towards Halloween, maybe. I think sort of towards the end of Halloween if they keep digging up the footers now. I think we could be on track for an end of September, start of October sort of look here for track and supports. But I'm really excited about this project. It's one of the 2 big projects in the UK with Poulton's Park's Tornado Springs area for the families and the family thrill seekers, and of course Inversion for the likes of me, the coaster enthusiast. First of all, let's go on then and explain the price tag and the official model explained by Flamingo Land. So the brand new model for the 10 looping coaster, the model will be the latest upgraded Generation 2 model, and it will cost a whopping £20,385,000, so £20.3 million. Whoever won the VIP Family Pass to the opening day launch, congratulations, well done, hope you have a good time. I'm hoping next year to be down for the opening day to sort of do a review on site from this new coaster. So fingers crossed with that, because it'd be nice to experience this coaster on the opening day next year. But like we said there, it's going to be the Generation 2 model, so this pretty much confirms that this is going to be like an Altair or a Lightspeed or the Crazy Coaster in Japan. Obviously the 2 main ones, the 2 more recent and sort of well-known ones, is there's a Velociraptor one over there in Russia, there's Altair, it's in Cinecittà World, and there's also Wonderland Eurasia in Turkey, the more recent 2019 opened theme park in Turkey that opened their Lightspeed, which is this version of the model. So we're not looking at an exact Colossus clone, we're looking at an Altair clone in my opinion. Now, like I said, I'm going to explain a couple of theories, about 2, 3, 4 theories as to why I think that it's that £20.3 million price tag, and they're not linked in either way, these 4 theories, these 3 or 4 theories. However, they are separate reasons, so either one of them could be true. So £20.3 million. Of course, the one theory, people will say it's not correct. there's a possibility of that, but I don't think Flamingoland would lie about the price tag of the coaster. Now, the second theory is that £20.3 million includes landscaping, groundwork, foundations, any rides that had to be removed. I know the cycle monorail is being demolished. I know the children's rides are being relocated to a different site. The runway train coaster has been relocated to a different site. But the only ride that I know that's definitely getting demolished is the cycle monorail. That wasn't a very popular attraction. I know people love the classic attraction. To be fair, I loved the cycle monorail when I was at Flamingoland back in 2013. But I think it was going through a low throughput at the time, so I think it was the right time to say goodbye to the cycle monorail, even though it was a good attraction for the families. So it is sad that that wasn't getting relocated to another site as well. Obviously, we've still got the full white monorail. We've got the normal monorail that's gone full white this year, which is an interesting colour choice. But the cycle monorail, that's demolished. So you could put the demolishment of rides onto the cost, as well as the landscaping, the groundwork, the footers, the track and supports that have come in, and of course the shipment costs as well. And any other like plantaries or anything landscaping wise that they're going to put around the coaster. Obviously, from the plans, the coaster looks like the station is set in like a metal box, so it doesn't look like this coaster is going to have any particular theming or any particular theme of the coaster, but it would be nice to have some landscaping. So I think plantaries, etc., that will all link together with the cost, and maybe with the £20.3 million cost, if that theory is correct, then we're expecting a lot of landscaping and a lot of plantaries. So that's another theory, as well as it being maybe the wrong price tag. Now, the third theory that I have is maybe the £20.3 million price tag is the original cost of the coaster at Hopi Hari. Now, Hopi Hari, of course, if you don't know the story about this possible relocated coaster, basically Hopi Hari was scheduled to open this in 2011, but it's been sat in storage ever since. Then it got moved over to Malaysia at the Movie Animation Park Studios, where it's scheduled to open. However, they haven't opened it yet, and there's a rumour that Flamingoland bought the coaster for a few million. So again, that links to that theory of it could be landscaping, ride demolishment at the cycle monorail, landscaping, groundwork, footers, supports, track. That could all come at a £20.3 million cost, with the possible buyout being a few million. So again, there is a possibility of that. But then my fourth theory, and it's something that I talked about with Theme Park Tom, so big shout out to Theme Park Tom. It's something I talked to him about, and obviously this might not be the case. It pretty well will not be the case. But what if the £20.3 million means that the coaster is custom and it's not a relocation? Now, there have been a few people on, articles, forums, saying that the coaster is still, via satellite imagery, still sat in storage in Malaysia, and it'll take a hell of a lot of obviously it can be easily put up over the winter, but I think with it being such a big coaster, obviously in terms of construction work at the minute, we know that the footers are going in for some of the supports, so we know they're doing that at the minute, so I think they're going to be finishing that hopefully around about September, October time, and then they're going to start bringing track in if it is the relocation. But there have been a few people saying, with it still sat there in Malaysia, even though the construction work's still going on, people have said they could still invest in a custom model.